Hi, my name's Coach Stevie. I've been a basketball coach for 19 years. I'm an ex-GB coach and I'm currently based in Stoke-on-Trent. I set up Next Play originally to help the people of Stoke-on-Trent to get access to high quality coaching. There's not many people in the UK who um, go on TikTok Live and give out free basketball advice. So I'm on here basically just to help basketball players, and I go TikTok Live because I wanna be able to spread the message and help people out through what I do. If anyone in the UK is looking for basketball tips, then drop a comment below and I'll get to your questions. Also, if you are watching this live, I would appreciate you if you tap the screen, because the more you tap the screen and the more hearts this live gets, the more people it will reach. And you never know, there might be somebody out there who's looking to get help with their game and they just can't afford it, because private basketball coaching is quite expensive. So the more people it reaches, the better. Now, first topic I'm going to cover ball handling. So a lot of people see it on the highlight reels and it's something that is really enjoyable about the game of basketball. To build the proper foundations of being a ball handler, you need to be able to dribble the ball with the right hand and left hand and be able to change it from one hand to the other and manipulate it around your body. So first thing you can start off with, if you're a complete beginner, is stationary ball handling drills. I would do something like a normal V crossover, standing in one spot and doing that for 30 seconds, going from the right hand to the left hand. Second thing I would do is a front to back dribble. So you can dribble it kind of with the right hand in front of you and dribble it back. Do that for 30 seconds, then you can switch to the left hand, do that for 30 seconds. The next thing I would start off with when you're building the foundations to be a good ball handler is under the legs. So you want to try and kind of stand on a line and put one foot over the line and push the ball under your legs. Then when you get used to that, you can start mixing it up and do double crossovers. I do that for around about 30 seconds. And then when you get a little bit more advanced and used to that coordination, you can start doing behind the backs. So behind the back is kind of like you're putting a belt on. So you've got to swivel your hand from one hip to the other, and kind of put that belt on with the basketball. Make sure you can do that from your right hand to your left hand and your left hand to your right hand stationary. And you want to dribble that ball behind the back around about 30 seconds. The other thing you want to do when you're building the foundations of being a good ball handler is do non-stationary stuff. So you can start off with walking if you're at a beginner level. So you can do some kind of coordination stuff whereby you can do a little bit of hops and dribble with your right hand from one line to the other. Then you can switch to your left hand and dribble back. If you find hopping isn't kind of your thing and it doesn't work for you because you're very uncoordinated right now, then what you can do is you can just do generally walking or just jogging. Jog to one line whilst you're dribbling and then change hands on the way back. And that will help you to be able to progress your ball handling so you can transfer it into game. Other things, when you get a little bit more advanced and you get used to kind of the ball being manipulated around your body in different ways, then you can throw some variations in there. So you can dribble up to one line, do a crossover move, and then change direction and then switch to the other hand, and do kind of the same move again. So you can do like 3 moves going from sideline to sideline. You can introduce another combo move on the way back, so maybe like an under the legs and behind the back. And then when you kind of get used to that, these are kind of the foundations you want to kind of get used to as a ball handler. And the great thing is you can do these at home. You don't have to have a basketball court. You just have to have a back garden or a space in your home where you can build the foundations to be a great ball handler. And it takes reps and consistency, but make sure you mix it up. So progressing on from that, what you can do is, if you want to kind of be a bit more advanced with your ball handling, you can do different patterns when you're kind of doing your ball handling activities. So you can do like a behind the back and under the legs, and then on your next rep you can go like under the legs, behind the back, or you can go 2 crossovers behind the back, and generally just mixing it up for around about a minute. We'll do a minute and a half. Then when you've done that, you can mix your ball handling in with some finishing. So you can throw in some retreat dribbles, some change of direction moves with the ball, execute 1 or 2 of them whilst you're walking up or jogging up to the 3-point line, and then you can work on your finishing, like go into your layup and finish with your right hand and then finish with your left hand. So these are the kind of the stuff you want to do when you're at an intermediate level. There are other things that you can do when you're at an intermediate level, but ultimately you want it to be progressive from the foundation upwards. When you're at an advanced level, the next way to kind of take your ball handling to that higher level is do it with a defender in front of you and play one-on-ones. A great one-on-one you can play is just starting off in the mid-circle with a defender in front of you and going from the mid-circle to the baseline, or getting into the key without the defender getting the ball off you. You can put a time limit on that if you want to, so you can do 15, 20 seconds and just generally try out different moves as well. Another way you can introduce a fun element is when you're doing that 1v1 ball handling drill, you can do you can get 1 point for doing a change of direction move. So if you want to practice your change of direction moves and stuff like that, then that's something you can throw in the 1v1 as well, as an addition to practice with a live defender. Practicing with a live defender is going to help you to be able to dribble the ball under pressure. And that is one of the massive skills you need, especially as a guard and as a basketball player in this day and age. The modern game has changed to the point where it's a lot about offense these days. So you need to have a different skill set and be able to dribble that ball under pressure with a live defender in front of you to be able to handle the hustle and bustle of the game. The other things I would do as well is maybe think about doing a live ball handling drill with a 1v1 plus 1. So you've got 1 defender and you've got 1 person on offense, and all you have to do is dribble and get the ball to a certain spot on the court, and then you have to make a pass to that live defender, to your other teammate, sorry, not your live defender. What that will do is it'll get you used to playmaking. So in the game, a lot of the times you'll be put under pressure from a defender when you're dribbling that ball. So if you dribble from one spot to another, and then when you get to that spot, your focus is on passing the ball around the defender, that simulates a game-like situation, especially when you're setting up plays and you're setting up sets And that's a really good point guard drill, or a really good effective guard drill that you can implement to be able to work on dribbling under pressure and passing the ball to get into your first action. Super, super important. And these are some of the things that will truly take your game to the next level. So that's what you kind of want to cover when you're thinking about how to become a better ball handler. The foundation level is stationary ball handling. The intermediate level is with a bit of variability, like walking, jogging, skipping, hopping, and doing different combo moves. Then the intermediate level is with a defender, mixing it up and kind of dribbling with that pressure in front of you. Now, with these three, I would recommend you, even as a complete beginner, to mix them up. Even if you're on a foundational level, you still want to do maybe 70% of the foundational stuff. You want to do 20% of the intermediate stuff, and you want to do 10% of the advanced stuff. The reason why I say that is because the more different kind of dribbling activities your body experiences, it allows you to be able to transfer your skills quicker. What you'll find is if you just stick to the foundational stuff, then you'll find that you'll go into a game and your handles won't transfer, and you'll sit there thinking, I've been putting this much work in, but nothing's been working out. So why am I going into a game and I'm not seeing no results whatsoever? The reason why you're not seeing no results is because you've not added variability to your practices and to your progression. So you've not added a walking element, a running element, a skipping element to your ball handling. And you've also not added a live defender, so you're able to read defenders when you're doing that certain action. So I would recommend you do a split like that. Ultimately, it depends on what level of ball handler you're at, and what level you're currently playing at now and your experience in basketball. I'd say if you were to pick the best drill to do, because you're limited on time, I'd say the best drill to do to develop ball handling would be just a 1v1. I'm a big advocate of 1v1 for developing your ball handle and your individual skill set. So there are, like I say, it ultimately depends on what level you're at. And that's why it's great to have a coach, because that coach will be able to recognize what you actually need at that time. There's thousands and thousands of video on YouTube, and you can get kind of paralyzed by all the noise. And that noise sometimes will make you worse, and some of the activities you do, you won't see results from them. That's why it's good to have a coach on board, because they know what you actually need for your experience and for your goals. So, like I say, be careful with some of the ball handling drills you do, because they'll just make you worse, and they'll make you second guess yourself when you get into the game. So yeah, so that's me covering ball handling. I'm probably going to do a couple more lives covering finishing as well. Also, I am running a camp in the summer. I'm looking to run a camp. So if you're not following me, drop a follow, because I will be notifying people on this page as well. I'm running a skills development camp in the summer that you guys can look to join. So yeah. Last thing, talking about the sessions, I run 2 different skill sessions. The first one is the Rising Star Skills Academy U13s. It is a skill program exclusively to a small group. The reason why I keep it small is because I want the high quality feedback to be there, and the development increases because it's a better learning environment. Players can get more reps, and they can get more one-to-one time with me and more attention. And what I usually find is players develop far quicker other than being in a big club where there's about 15, 30 people and they've got 1 or 2 coaches to that many people. And a lot of the times in clubs, they have a very tactical focus, and they don't work on skills development. Obviously, some clubs do work on skill development, but what you'll find is when you go to club, you will develop, but you won't develop as much as you would do in a small group that's purely focused on skill development. So I do run that. That is on a Thursday, and at the moment I've got people who are joined. But like, this is a long-term thing. You're not going to be able to come for a week and see results. It's just not possible, because I really can't predict results, because it depends on a lot of factors. And one of the main things it depends on is time and your effort. The next session I run is the Elite Skills Training session. That's open for people from the ages of 15 to 35. That's a session where I allow 10 people to come and work on their skills consistently. So I've recently just brought the Xbox Falcon AI camera for recording all my sessions and going TikTok live on it. And that's absolutely great, because what I'm able to do is I'm able to send players all of the recording of their workout, and they can watch their workout. They can have a look at where they need, what they did well, and what improvements they need to make. And also what I do from it as well is I clip some of the things in the session and put it on my social media. It's also a great way for people in my session to get exposure to new coaches and to teams, because I have a couple of followers on here who are coaches and teams, and a lot of people really struggle with exposure. And I think social media is one of the biggest cheat codes for getting players exposure, so they can get recruited to get like a scholarship, or they can get recruited into a pro team or abroad. So that's my mission, really. So all of my skill sessions will have this camera in, and I'm going to go TikTok live. I'm going to record the content, and I'm also going to put it on YouTube as well. And post the videos so people can see them, so they've got access to the workouts. And it's something really unique that I don't really see no skill coach do. So if you are interested in joining our skill sessions in the New Year's, we start back on the 5th of January. Drop me a DM in my service bio, and then we can have a chat about it. And I'm here really for your development, to help as many people as possible, because I set up Next Play so I can have a greater impact in basketball, because that's something that I really enjoy. And I was kind of tired of doing the club coaching. I mean, I do enjoy parts of club coaching and team coaching, but the part I enjoy the most is the skill development part, and seeing that player go from complete beginner or wanting to kind of hit a goal and then have that skyrocket performance increase. There has been players that have been consistent and been there for around about a month, 2 months, and they've seen massive improvements in their game. And these players obviously message me and tell me about it, and it just makes my day, because the work they're putting in and the work I'm putting in with them just makes the world of difference. And you would be surprised how much just a month can help you improve your game. So if you do want to improve your game and you're serious about it, then drop me a DM and we'll have a chat about your development and see what your goals are and see if I can help. Anyway, I'm going to end this live. Thanks for tuning in. Like I say, if you aren't following, follow. If you want to work out and if you want to inquire about what I do at Next Play, then drop me a DM.